Good morning, class. Today we'll start with the family Coronaviridae. I guess till now you have gathered enough of the information on the coronaviruses क्योंकि अभी जो पैंडमिक चल रहा है एपिडेमिक चल रहा है कोरोना वायरसेस का. तो आई होप आप लोगों को काफ़ी इन्फॉर्मेशन होगी रिगार्डिंग कोरोना वायरसेस. नाउ लेट्स जस्ट सी how it's different from that of the coronavirus that's causing diseases in humans, and what are the diseases they are causing in animals particularly. जो ह्यूमंस में हम अभी तक देख रहे हैं दैट्स अफेक्टिंग द रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट. तो बेसिकली कोरोना वायरसेस ह्यूमंस में पर्टिकुलरली अपर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शंस करते हैं. And if we talk about animals, coronaviruses basically they cause gastroenteritic problems in case of animals. So basically they are responsible for gastroenteritis and diarrhea, particularly in case of young animals like calf, pigs. Unme they are mainly responsible for causing diarrhea. So they in animals they mainly cause gastroenteritis. Humans में coronavirus is responsible for upper respiratory tract infections. Now let's just start with the introduction first. These coronaviruses which comes under the family Coronaviridae. In Latin this word corona means crown. So these basically the word is derived because these viruses they are crown shaped. They are large pleomorphic and enveloped viruses. Coronaviruses are also enveloped. They contain single molecule of linear positive sense single stranded RNA. So they are also single stranded RNA viruses, but they are positive sense RNA viruses. इसके अलावा they have club shaped glycoprotein peplomers projecting from the envelope. They are imparting a crown like appearance to the virus. So because of these club shaped glycoprotein peplomers I have told you these are the surface spikes which are arising from the envelope of a virus. So here in case of coronaviruses these peplomers they are club shaped. So basically because of these club shaped glycoprotein peplomers it's imparting a crown like appearance to the virus. So from this crown shape appearance the word corona has been derived. So that's why they have been given name coronaviruses. Each papillomer that is composed of a large viral glycoprotein spike which is also called as S protein that is responsible for attachment to the host cells. So basically this S protein हर पेपिलोमर में एक स्पाइक हो. पेपिलोमर विच इज़ बेसिकली अ स्पाइक it's containing a protein spike protein जिसे S protein भी बोलते हैं, and this protein it is responsible for attachment to the host cells. Now this S protein this is the main antigenic component which induces the production of neutralizing antibodies during natural infection. So this is the antigenic part which is responsible for attachment as well as inducing the antibodies in the host. So this is basically the main antigenic component of this coronaviruses. These club-shaped spikes, this crown-like appearance or these spikes which contains the antigenic component that is S protein. This is the antigenic part and is responsible for production of neutralizing antibodies, and this is the main antigenic component. So that's the important part to be noted. Then hypervariable domains which are present in the S protein they facilitate the production of virus escape mutants which are capable of evading the host immune response. So this is also again an important point that this S protein which spike protein or club shaped peplomers they contain S protein, and in S protein में there are certain hypervariable domains, and in domains की वजह से ही they facilitate the production of certain mutants. अब mutants होंगे they will be capable of evading the host immune response. So this is how the virus protects itself from the host immune response. Now along with the family Artriviridae which we have studied yesterday, this family Coronaviridae also belongs to the order Nidovirales. So Nidovirales order के अंडर हमने दो families अभी पढ़ी हैं, एक Artriviridae which we studied yesterday and today we are studying Coronaviridae. So these two families they come under Nidovirales order. दूसरा इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्डर जो मैं हर दिन हर लेक्चर में रिपीट कर रही हूँ दैट्स विच इज़ योर मोनोनेगाविरेल्स की भी हमने काफ़ी फैमिलीज डिस्कस की हैं. नाउ इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट द कोरोनाविरिडी देर आर टू जेनेरा प्रेजेंट इन द फैमिली. फर्स्ट इज़ योर कोरोना वायरस and second is your torovirus. So these two genuses are present in this family Coronaviridae, and these are almost same but there are certain variations which we'll discuss. So just remember, these are the two viruses or genus present in this family, that's coronavirus and torovirus. Now coronaviruses की general properties, they are almost spherical with the diameter of 120 to 116 nanometers, and they have helical nucleocapsids. So note it down, they have nucleocapsid is helical in symmetry. Like Paramyxoviridae and Rhabdoviridae, these have helical nucleocapsids. Similarly, coronaviruses, they also have helical nucleocapsids. Now, if we talk about the toroviruses, they have a tubular nucleocapsid, which may be disc shaped, kidney shaped, or rod shaped, and they are approximately 120 to 140 nanometers in diameters. So these were the differentiating points regarding toroviruses and कोरोना वायरसेस. बेसिकली हम अगर बात करें तो दोनों की हेलिकल ही सिमेट्री है, बट इसमें जो हेलिकल है उसे वो हेलिकल को भी एक पर्टिकुलर शेप में देखा गया, दैट माइट बी किडनी शेप, दैट माइट बी रॉड शेप्ड और डिस्क शेप में है हेलिक्स ही है, हेलिक्स फॉर्म भी है, वो भी एक शेप ले रहा, दैट माइट बी डिस्क, किडनी और रॉड शेप. So this is the differentiating point regarding corona and toroviruses. And if we talk about the genome, that's all same, positive sense linear single stranded RNA viruses, positive polarity hai, and almost similar to that of coronaviruses. Now this is the picture of coronavirus. See, these coronaviruses are enveloped shape and they have a envelope. ये जो outermost layer और covering आप लोग देख रहे हैं, that's envelope, जिसमें small membrane protein pentamers हैं जिन्हें E रेफर किया गया है यहाँ पे. मेम्ब्रेन प्रोटीन्स हैं, कुछ न्यूक्लियोप्रोटीन अंदर देखिए विद द हेलिकल सिमेट्री, एंड आरएनए इज द जीनोम. एंड स्पाइक प्रोटीन में देर दैट इज एस प्रोटीन. ये जो क्लब शेप पेप्लोमर्स और क्राउन लाइक अपीयरेंस दे रहे हैं कोरोना वायरस को, दैट्स योर बिकॉज ऑफ दीज एस प्रोटीन्स present in the spikes. Okay, so this was the diagram of coronaviruses. Now talking about the taxonomy, they come under Baltimore group 4. Group 4 Baltimore classification में we have single stranded RNA positive strand viruses, and इसमें these coronaviruses, they come under order Nidovirales. Family is Coronaviridae. सब फैमिली पहली आ जाती है कोरोना विरनी, जिसमें जीनसेस आर अल्फा कोरोना वायरस, बीटा कोरोना वायरस, गामा एंड डेल्टा. बेसिकली दीज आर 4 टाइप्स ऑफ कोरोना वायरसेस और 4 जीनसेस प्रेजेंट, but we'll take up only the important ones or important diseases by these viruses. So you just remember the genus coronavirus. Don't need to go into much details like alpha, beta, gamma and delta, but still you have that information. You should have that information that these 4 genuses, they come under coronavirinae family. And दूसरी सब फैमिली इज टोरोविरनी, जिसमें 2 जीनसेस हैं, बैफिनीवायरस एंड टोरोवायरस. The important ones are coronaviruses and toroviruses. So this was about the taxonomy of coronaviruses. Now these coronaviruses, they replicate in the cytoplasm of the cells. Being an RNA virus, its replication is in the cytoplasm of the cells. Newly synthesized virions, they acquire their envelopes from the membranes of endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex. जब भी वो replicate करते हैं host cell में, उसके बाद जो newly synthesized virions होंगे, they will acquire their envelope from the membranes of these endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex. They are incorporated into the vesicles and transported to the cell surface, where the virions, they are released following the fusion of vesicles with the plasma membrane. This is similar like we हमने general में जैसे पढ़ा था replication cycle of viruses, both the enveloped as well as non-enveloped viruses. Enveloped viruses, they are released by budding from the viruses from the host cell. So how this envelope is derived, यही उन्होंने बताया, that envelope is derived from the membranes of endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi complex of the host cell. Then genetic recombination भी देखा गया है कोरोना वायरसेस में, that occurs at high frequency between the related coronaviruses. So genetic recombination is also there in coronaviruses. Now with the exception of infectious bronchitis viruses, coronaviruses, they are usually difficult to grow in cell culture. ये coronaviruses हैं, they cause a disease which is infectious bronchitis in birds. Infectious bronchitis, very important disease caused by coronaviruses in birds. So with the exception of this disease, बाकी जितने भी corona viruses हैं, they are usually difficult to grow in the cell culture. The virions coronaviruses के they are sensitive to heat, lipid solvents, formaldehyde, oxidizing agents and non-ionic detergents. स्टेबिलिटी की बात करें तो कोरोना वायरसेस की स्टेबिलिटी एट लो pH इज़ वेरिएबल एंड सम आर स्टेबल एट वैल्यूज एज लो एज pH 3. So basically it's depending upon the type of the viruses. Stability is almost variable. Okay. Then clinical infections की बात करें तो कोरोना वायरसेस they can infect a number of mammalian and avian species, and many display the tropisms for respiratory and intestinal epithelium. So they have basically the tropism for both the respiratory as well as intestinal epithelium. Infections which are usually mild or inapparent in mature animals, they may be severe in young animals. Youngs की particularly बात करें तो coronaviruses cause severe diseases. Coronaviruses, they are etiologically important in humans because as a cause of the common cold. नॉर्मली भी कोरोना वायरसेस दे आर प्रेजेंट इन, जब भी ह्यूमंस में कॉमन कोल्ड की प्रॉब्लम होती है, कॉमन कोल्ड के लिए भी कोरोना वायरसेस दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल. Although the evidence of torovirus infection has been found in pigs, sheep, goats, and cats, the clinical significance of these infections is questionable. Two toroviruses they have been implicated in enteric diseases of domestic animals. So toroviruses are also responsible for causing enteric diseases in domestic animals particularly. Now, first important disease caused by these coronaviruses in animals is your transmissible gastroenteritis of swine. So that's a disease of swines. Basically piglets में होती है ये disease, and gastroenteritis है main responsible for diarrhea in pigs or neonates of swine. So this transmissible gastroenteritis of swine, in short TGE, this is a highly contagious coronaviral disease of young pigs which occurs worldwide. There is only one serotype of TGE virus which is closely related antigenically to the feline coronavirus and canine coronavirus. Felines में भी it's highly responsible for diseases or severe infections, coronavirus, और canines में भी. And TGE का एक ही serotype है which is closely related to these two groups, canine and feline coronaviruses. And a relatively non-pathogenic respiratory variant of TGE virus referred to as porcine respiratory coronavirus that was first recognized in 1984. So इसी का related है, but that's comparatively non-pathogenic variant, which is your porcine respiratory coronavirus. This is gastroenteritic virus जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं अभी, ट्रांसमिसिबल गैस्ट्रोएंटेराइटिस, इसी से रिलेटेड है, बट दैट्स मेनली नॉन पैथोजेनिक वेरिएंट ऑफ TGE, जिसको नाम दिया गया था पोर्साइन रेस्पिरेटरी कोरोना वायरस, PRC वायरस, एंड दिस वाज फर्स्ट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इन 1984. The virus spreads to the pig populations in many European countries, and it has now been identified in USA and in some Asian countries as well. And the infection with porcine respiratory coronavirus, PRCV, that's usually subclinical. Now let's just talk about the epidemiology of TGE. Now the transmission of TGE virus, it is usually by fecal-oral route. That's the main route as it's causing gastroenteritis. So main route will be जहाँ gastroenteritic problems हो रही हैं, main route will be fecal-oral route. The virus is moderately stable in the presence of proteolytic enzymes and at pH 3, ensuring survival in the stomach and small intestines. So that's stable in this in this low pH, at pH values ranging about 3. They are able to survive in this acidic pH or environment in the stomach and small intestines. Virus shedding in the feces, it can persist for up to 2 weeks, and outbreaks mostly जो होते हैं ट्रांसमिसिबल गैस्ट्रोएंटेराइटिस के, they tend to occur in winters mainly. जितने भी fully susceptible herds हैं, virus spreads rapidly, infecting animals of all ages. अगर the herds की बात करें which are fully susceptible, तो spread भी इसका high है कोरोना वायरसेस का, TGE वायरस का. The virus spreads rapidly and infects animals of all ages. But the disease is, however, most severe in newborn piglets. So basically, young ones are mostly or severely affected by this virus. And these outbreaks, they usually terminate in a few weeks if no new susceptible animals they are introduced into the herd. So main control strategy is कोई भी नया animal आप herd में introduce ना करें without prior testing or quarantine. Now pathogenesis. Following ingestion, which is the main route of this virus, fecal route or ingestion. So following ingestion, the virus replicates mainly in the mature enterocytes, intestinal cells. Enterocytes are your intestinal cells at the tips of villi. At the tips of villi in the small intestine, viral replication results in villus atrophy throughout the length of the small intestine. It will replicate in the villi of the small intestine, और वहाँ पे it will result in villus atrophy throughout the length of the small intestine. उसके बाद digestion and cellular transport of nutrients and electrolytes, they are severely disrupted, resulting in the accumulation of fluid in the intestinal lumen and diarrhea. Young piglets, they are particularly susceptible to ensuing dehydration and metabolic acidity. So severe diarrhea hota hai is case mein, and because of that severe diarrhea, the young piglets, they are susceptible to dehydration and metabolic acidosis. So basically virus will replicate in the mature enterocytes. ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है कोरोना वायरस का. इफ़ वे अभी आप एक और वायरस पढ़ेंगे रोटा वायरसेस, तो इन दोनों के रिजल्ट्स कॉमनली सेम ही होते हैं. तो जब आपको डिफ्रेंशिएट करना है तो एक डिफ्रेंशिएटिंग पॉइंट ये है कि कोरोना वायरसेस दे मल्टीप्लाई और रेप्लिकेट इन मैच्योर सेल्स, मैच्योर इंटेस्टिनल सेल्स, और वहाँ पे विलस एट्रॉफी करते हैं. दैट विलस एट्रॉफी की वजह से देयर इज डिसरप्शन इन द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स, जिसकी वजह से डायरिया होता है. So this was about the pathogenesis. Now clinical signs which we'll encounter is first incubation period, that's up to 3 days. काफ़ी we can say the short incubation period is there, that's up to 3 days. Vomition and watery diarrhea, they may be evident in affected piglets which are less than 7 days old. See कितने young animals में it's responsible for causing diarrhea. Vomition and watery diarrhea is there. Rapid dehydration and weight loss will occur, it will follow after vomition and diarrhea. Mortality, it may approach 100% in newborn piglets, and it is usually confined to animals which are under 3 weeks of age. So youngs mein mortality rate is very high, that's 100%. Inappetence and transient diarrhea, that may be observed in older pigs. So these were the clinical signs. Subclinical infections भी इसकी देखी गई हैं, they also occur. SOS, they quickly become immune, and उनके पास जितनी maternally derived immunity होती है, that reduces the severity of clinical signs in piglets. And outbreaks, they usually last a few weeks. However, TGE virus infection, that may become endemic in a herd if consecutive litters they become infected as maternally derived immunity it wanes. Clinically, such infections, they are usually mild. So TGE virus की infection that becomes endemic in a herd अगर consecutive litters they become infected as जब maternally derived immunity it fades, but these infections are usually mild. इसके जो outbreaks होते हैं they usually last a few weeks. So these were about the clinical signs. Then diagnosis part, the sudden onset and rapid spread of diarrhea among the newborn pigs along with 100% mortality, that's highly suggestive of transmissible gastroenteritis, TGE. So first thing is किसी भी herd में अगर आपको sudden onset of diarrhea, rapid spread of diarrhea plus mortality rate भी youngs में high हो, that's highly suggestive of TGE. उसके अलावा postmortem examination करें, if we go for the postmortem examination of washed small intestines, they disclose paper thin walls due to villus atrophy. So I have told you in pathogenesis that these viruses they multiply in mature enterocytes, wherein mature villi, enterocytes and villi, wherein they cause the villus atrophy. The villus atrophy will be evident in the postmortem examination. The intestinal walls will be like very thin, paper thin walls will be there. Now the walls of the jejunum and ileum, they are affected, while those of duodenum, they are usually normal. Viral antigen can be detected in mucosal smears or cryostat sections of the small intestine by immunofluorescence. We can go for detecting antigen by immunofluorescent techniques. then it may be necessary to euthanize some piglets in the early stages of the disease. If in order to obtain suitable specimens for lab examination, they can also go for euthanasia. वायरल एंटीजेंस को हम डेमोन्स्ट्रेट कर सकते हैं इन फीसेस बाय एलाइजा. देन आइसोलेट कर सकते हैं फ्रॉम फीसेस इन अ स्वाइन टेस्टेड सेल लाइन, सूटेबल सेल लाइन जो भी होगी उसमें वी कैन गो फॉर आइसोलेशन. आफ्टर आइसोलेशन नाउ वी कैन गो फॉर सीरोलॉजिकल टेस्टिंग फॉर एंटीबॉडीज using virus neutralization test, and a blocking ELISA, which is based on the use of monoclonal antibody directed against a glycoprotein epitope present in TGEV but which is absent from respiratory porcine respiratory coronavirus, that can be used to distinguish infection caused by these two viruses. अगर आपको they are very closely related viruses PRCV and TGEV, अगर इन्हें differentiate करना है तो there is a blocking ELISA technique for diagnosing which type of virus is present. So this was about the diagnostic part of TGEV. Now treatment part and control part. There is no specific treatment, but अगर डायरिया और वॉमिशन है सीवियर जिसकी वजह से डिहाइड्रेशन होती है, द फ्लूइड रिप्लेसमेंट थेरेपी दैट इज़ बेनिफिशियल. Maintaining the farrowing houses at an optimal temperature that may enhance the survival. In acute outbreaks of TGE, deliberate exposure of pregnant sows to the virus that may reduce neonatal mortality, and after exposure sows due to farrow, they should be moved to clean premises. उसके अलावा न्यूबॉर्न पिगलेट्स जो होंगे, दे आर बॉर्न टू एक्सपोज सोज, दे विल यूजुअली रिसीव पैसिव एंटीबॉडी प्रोटेक्शन फॉलोइंग सक्लिंग. उनको तो एंटीबॉडीज मिल जाएंगी थ्रू मदर, दैट्स द पैसिव ट्रांसफर ऑफ एंटीबॉडीज, एंड सोज शुड बी मूव टू अ क्लीनर प्रीमिसेस. Then इसके अलावा vaccines are available. Modified live or inactivated vaccines, they are available. Modified live vaccines, they are administered orally to the source, which are 5 to 7 weeks before farrowing. उस टाइम पे आप दे सकते हैं live vaccines. And a booster inoculation is administered parenterally 1 week before parturition. Then vaccination reduces mortality, but it does not eliminate infection. So vaccination से mortality आप कम कर सकते हैं, but एलिमिनेशन की बात करें तो इट कैन नॉट एलिमिनेट द वायरल इन्फेक्शन completely. Then serious outbreaks of TGE, they have become rare in European pig populations endemically infected with PRCV, porcine respiratory coronavirus that spread in pig herds by aerosols. And sows infected with PRCV, they usually transfer substantial cholesterol protection to their litters. Additional information for you people. Now next important disease caused by the coronaviruses is in felines particularly, that is feline infectious peritonitis. That's very important disease examination point of view से भी. एक तो हमने पढ़ी है transmissible gastroenteritis of swine. Second disease caused by these coronaviruses is feline infectious peritonitis, which is important disease of felines. Okay, now feline infectious peritonitis is arguably the most enigmatic coronavirus diseases of all. This disease, caused by certain strains of feline coronaviruses, that is a worldwide and invariably fatal sporadic disease of domestic cats and other felides. Now strains of feline coronaviruses, they vary in their pathogenicity. The term feline enteric coronavirus, which is FECV, that has been used to describe strains that cause mild or inapparent enteritis, while the term feline infectious peritonitis FIPV, that was applied to those strains which are etiologically implicated in feline infectious peritonitis. So basically इसका दूसरा strain है feline infectious peritonitis का, that's feline enteric coronaviruses, and these are the strains which cause mild or inapparent enteritis. हम जो पढ़ रहे हैं that is FIPV, that's feline infectious peritonitis virus. Now it is believed that FIPV arises as a mutant of the widely distributed FECV, resulting in an alteration in tropism from enteric epithelial cells to macrophages. So FIPV, that is basically arising as a mutant of this FECV, क्योंकि इसने अपना आफ्टर म्यूटेशन, जब इसमें म्यूटेशन हुई और म्यूटेंट जो अराइज हुआ, दैट वाज showing tropism towards macrophages rather than towards the enteric epithelial cells. Now current thinking, it envisages a single virus which is termed as feline coronavirus, FCOV. हम जो अब फेलाइंस के लिए पढ़ते हैं दैट इज feline coronavirus FCOV, which encompasses the strains of varying virulence. Now, two serotypes of feline coronavirus they are described. First is your serotype 1, which accounts for the most field infections, whereas serotype 2 it is thought to have arisen due to a recombinational event between FCOV and canine coronavirus. So इसकी दो serotypes हैं. फर्स्ट सीरोटाइप जो है दैट्स फॉर जितनी भी फील्ड इन्फेक्शंस हम लोग देखते हैं दैट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सीरोटाइप 1, और दूसरी सीरोटाइप इज बिकॉज ऑफ रिकॉम्बिनेशन बिटवीन फेलाइन एंड कैनाइन कोरोना वायरसेस. नाउ एपिडेमोलॉजी. फेलाइन इन्फेक्शियस पेरिटोनाइटिस इट अकर्स स्पोरैडिकली इन जितनी भी कैटरीज हैं और मल्टी कैट हाउस होल्ड्स हैं. द इंसिडेंस इज रिपोर्टेड टू बी हायर इन पेडिग्री कैट्स पर्टिकुलरली. Although the cats of any age they may be affected, those which are less than 1 year of age they appear to be most susceptible. A second peak of the disease in cats over 10 years of age it has also been noted. Infected cats they shed virus in feces and oronasal secretions. So these are the peculiar points regarding epidemiology of the disease. Cats जो है इसमें particularly कुछ age bar नहीं है. Cats of any age they may be affected. Pedigree cats में incidence इसके ज़्यादा हैं. And infected cats they shed the virus in feces and oronasal secretions. Then transmission it is mainly by ingestion or inhalation. Both are the routes for this, for the transmission of feline coronaviruses. Infection that is acquired by young kittens from their mothers or from other adult cats. Now, in infected households, about 15% of the cats they are persistently infected carriers responsible for maintaining the infection. The majority of the cats and they are transiently infected, but reinfection can also occur. Now, pathogenesis. Infection with the FIPV it does not always result in clinical disease. The factors which may influence the development of disease they include the age, immune status of the animal, genetic characteristics of the host, and the emergence of virulent virus strains. So FIPV की infection होगी that will not always result in your clinical symptoms or clinical disease. There are certain factors responsible for the development of clinical disease that which includes age, immune status, genetic characteristic of host, and emergence of virulent virus strains. Then in some instances, probably due to mutational changes in the virus, the emergence of a virulent FIPV strain it results in systemic invasion and with the replication in macrophages. Okay, mutational changes की वजह से इसका जो एक mutant आया that strain was evading the systemic it was entering in the systemic circulation and was replicating in the macrophages. And in most of the infected kittens, the development of cell-mediated immunity, it restricts the viral replication and ultimately eliminates the infection. Infected kittens में CMI is there. Some individual animals with less effective cell-mediated immunity, they may shed the virus intermittently while remaining clinically normal. And when cell-mediated immunity is impaired or defected, virus replication it continues, leading to B cell activation and the production of non-protective antibodies. Now the immune complexes formed from these antibodies and FIPV they activate the complement system, leading to immune mediated vasculitis. So this is how the disease progresses. So it's all because of the immunity. So basically they are talking about the cell mediated immunity जिसमें ज़्यादा अच्छी होगी, effective होगी, that will restrict the virus from replicating in the cells. जिनमें less effective होगी वो clinically तो normal दिखेंगे animals, but they will shed the virus intermittently in the feces or in their जितनी भी secretions and excretions हैं. उसके अलावा अगर तो cell mediated immunity it is severely impaired, this will result to the B cell activation and there will be production of non-protective antibodies, और उससे जो immune complexes बनेंगे they will lead to the activation of complement system and ultimately there will be vasculitis. Severity of this vasculitis it influences the clinical presentation and the rate of progression of the disease. And in addition to the type 3 hypersensitivity, there is evidence of type 4 hypersensitivity in FIPV induced lesions. Okay, see this flow diagram. It's explaining the how this feline coronavirus it progresses. Now this feline coronavirus which is shed in the feces of carrier cats, करेगा इन्फेक्शन इन द किटन्स, रेप्लिकेशन विल बी इन द एंटीरोसाइट्स। उसके बाद अगर इसमें रिकॉम्बिनेशन और म्यूटेशनल चेंजेस होते हैं दैट विल रिजल्ट, तो उसकी वजह से म्यूटेशन की वजह से FIPV वॉज डेवलप्ड। अगर फेलाइन कोरोना वायरस इन्फेक्शन ही है किटन्स में दैट विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर एंटीरिक इन्फेक्शन, जो कि सब क्लिनिकल और क्लिनिकल इन्फेक्शन हो सकती है। इम्यूनिटी भी हो सकती है, दैट विल लीड टू द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इम्यूनिटी एंड वायरस विल बी एलिमिनेटेड। अगर म्यूटेशन होती है एंड FIPV इज फॉर्म्ड, नाउ इसमें फेलाइन इन्फेक्शियस पेरिटोनाइटिस वायरस, अभी मैंने बताया आपको इसकी रेप्लिकेशन कहाँ होगी, मैक्रोफेजेस में। ईदर दिस रेप्लिकेशन विल लीड टू द डिफेक्टिव सेल मीडिएटेड इम्यूनिटी, or if the cell mediated immunity is effective, there will be decreased cell mediated immunity and intermittent replication of FIPV is there. Then that will result in clinically normally cat, but there will be periodic shedding of the virus, जो कि मैंने पीछे आपको बताया, there will be 3 cases. अब इफेक्टिव सेल मीडिएटेड इम्यूनिटी है तो दैट विल देयर विल बी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड वायरस रेप्लिकेशन, जिसकी वजह से वायरस विल बी एलिमिनेटेड एंड नॉर्मल क्लिनिकली नॉर्मल कैट विल बी देयर. Now, if the defective cell immunity is there, there will be continuous replication of feline infectious peritonitis virus. Immune complexes are formed in the circulation because of B cell activation and production of non-protected antibodies, जिसकी वजह से vasculitis is there. अब vasculitis भी या तो severe होगा या moderate होगा. If it is moderate, pyogranulomatous lesions will be formed and it will lead to non-effusive or dry form of FIP. अभी मैं आपको इसकी 2 फॉर्म्स पढ़ाऊंगी फेलाइन इन्फेक्शियस पेरिटोनाइटिस की. देयर आर 2 फॉर्म्स. फर्स्ट इज एफ्यूजिव फॉर्म एंड अनदर इज नॉन एफ्यूजिव. अब एफ्यूजिव जो है दैट इज सीवियर फॉर्म. सीवियर वेस्कुलाइटिस विल बी देयर, मार्क्ड वेस्कुलर परमेबिलिटी इज देयर, जिसकी वजह से अब वेस्कुलर परमेबिलिटी हाई है तो दैट विल बी वेट फॉर्म. और एफ्यूजिव फॉर्म जिसमें विच विल लीड टू प्रोग्रेसिव फेटल डिजीज, विद इन वीक्स डेथ हो सकती है. If it is moderate vasculitis, there will be certain lesions, pyogranulomatous lesions. उन lesions की वजह से there will be no leakage, that will be dry form, non-effusive होगी, and it will also lead to progressive fatal disease, जिसमें months लग सकते हैं ठीक होने में भी, और we can say that it's fatal. In both the cases, it might result in fatality. So this was about the replication cycle. So basically feline coronavirus FCOV वायरस स्टार्ट हुआ था म्यूटेशनल चेंजेस की वजह से. उसमें उसकी जो ट्रोपिज्म है दैट वाज चेंज टू मैक्रोफेजेस रादर दैन टू एंटीरिक एपिथेलियल सेल्स, एंटीरोसाइट्स. द FIPV was replicating in the macrophages. So this is how the disease progresses in cats, and it all depends on the immune status of the host, that cell, how the cell mediated immunity is there, if it is effective, it is defective, or it's impaired. Now clinical signs की बात करें तो incubation period it ranges from weeks to months. The onset of clinical signs that may be either sudden or slow and insidious. Early signs which are generally non-specific, they include anorexia, weight loss, listlessness and dehydration. Affected cats, they are often present with icterus, jaundice हो सकता है उनमें. अब इसकी 2 फॉर्म्स मैंने आपको बताई. एफ्यूजिव फॉर्म जिसमें कैट्स विद द एफ्यूजिव फॉर्म ऑफ द डिजीज़, उनमें फाइब्रिन रिच एक्सुडेट्स होंगे इन द एब्डोमिनल और थोरेसिक कैविटीज़. इफ़ द प्लूरल एफ्यूजन इट इज़ मार्क्ड, डिस्पनिया विल डेवलप. प्लूरल एफ्यूजन होगी तो डिस्पनिया विल डेवलप. एफ्यूजिव फॉर्म ऑफ द डिजीज़ यूजुअली लीड्स टू डेथ विद इन 8 weeks. So these were the peculiar forms of points regarding effusive form. Now if we talk about the non-effusive form, clinical findings, they are less characteristic. Signs referable to the lesions in organs or tissues in the abdominal cavity, they are present in about 50% of the affected cats. Anterior uveitis may develop, chorioretinitis and neurological signs, they may be evident in cats up to 30% of the cases. They are evident. The course of the disease is usually protracted with animals surviving from weeks or months. And infection with leukemia, feline leukemia virus, or with the feline immunodeficiency virus, that may increase the susceptibility to FIPV and contribute to the severity of the clinical signs. Now, diagnosis part में currently histological examination of the affected tissues, that is the only procedure available for the definitive diagnosis. If we want a definitive diagnosis, we need to go for histological examination. Pleural or peritoneal fluid which may contain fibrin strands, they clot on stranding and it has a high protein content. a gamma globulin content exceeding 32% of the total protein, it is suggestive of FIP. So this is basically we are going for biochemical tests. टिपिकल हेमाटोलॉजिक चेंजेस जो देखने को मिलते हैं FIP में, दैट इंक्लूड्स न्यूट्रोफीलिया, लिम्फोपीनिया एंड क्रॉनिक केसेस में अनीमिया होगा, बट दैट विल बी नॉर्मोसिटिक, नॉर्मोक्रोमिक, नॉन रीजनरेटिव टाइप ऑफ अनीमिया. सो याद रखना FIP के केस में इफ इट इज़ अनीमिया दैट विल ऑलवेज बी normocytic and normochromic. Serum hyperproteinemia, it is frequently present due to hypergammaglobulinemia, severe serum liver enzymes and total bilirubin that may also be raised. Serological tests में दोनों आ जाते हैं, immunofluorescence and ELISA. They do not distinguish between cats infected with FCOV and FIPV. And in indirect immunofluorescence, antibody titers, they may be very high in some FIP cases, and in other cases antibody titers are negligible. उसके अलावा RT-PCR is always there. It can be used to detect virus shed in the feces for the identification of carriers. So these were all the tests. लेकिन main and foremost definitive diagnosis के लिए histological examination are there. Now treatment and control में there is no specific treatment for FIP. Supportive therapy and broad spectrum antibiotics, they may be useful for treating affected cats in good physical condition. उसके अलावा intranasal vaccine है, employing a temperature sensitive mutant strain that has recently been developed. Vaccine is there, that's been recent discovered, and supportive therapy is good. Broad spectrum antibiotics are useful, but they are particularly useful for treating cats which are in good physical condition. नाउ लास्ट में मैंने आपको एक ये टेबल और चार्ट दिया है जिसमें कोरोना वायरसेस बताए हैं ऑफ वेटनरी सिग्निफिकेंस. हमने दो ही पढ़े हैं, दैट्स ट्रांसमिसिबल गैस्ट्रोएंटेराइटिस और फेलाइंस का कोरोना वायरस. दैट इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू पीपल. उसके अलावा वी हैव पोर्साइन एपिडेमिक डायरिया वायरस, पोर्साइन हेमोग्लूटिनेटिंग एनसेफेलोमेलाइटिस वायरस, इन्फेक्शियस ब्रोंकाइटिस वायरस विच इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिजीज़ ऑफ बर्ड्स जो आपको सुनीता मैम पढ़ाएंगी. टर्की कोरोना वायरस है, बोवाइंस में कोरोना वायरसेस हैं, कैनाइंस में भी हैं. सो आप ये टेबल से जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस टेबल और इसके पिक्यूलर पॉइंट्स मैंने हाईलाइट कर दिए हैं, बट मेन दो इंपॉर्टेंट डिजीज़ेस थी जो आपके एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, वो हमने डील कर ली हैं. ये जस्ट आपको पता होना चाहिए कि इसके अलावा कोरोना वायरसेस कौन कौन से एनिमल्स में कौन सी डिजीज़ करते हैं. सो बेसिकली आपने क्या देखा, कोरोना वायरसेस दे आर इन एनिमल्स पर्टिकुलरली दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर एंटेराइटिक डिजीजेज और गैस्ट्रोएंटेराइटिस, जो कि स्वाइन्स में पर्टिकुलरली यंग्स में देखने को मिलता है. बट इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट ह्यूमंस में कॉमन कोल्ड में भी आपको नॉर्मली देखने को मिलता है कोरोना वायरस, एंड इट इज़ मेनली रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर अपर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट इन्फेक्शन. सो दिस वॉज ऑल अबाउट कोरोना विरिडी. नेक्स्ट टाइम विल मीट विद अनदर फैमिली. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट वीक आपका एग्जाम भी है. सिलेबस, आई होप यू गॉट द सिलेबस. अभी तक हमने जितनी वायरल फैमिलीज़ पढ़ी हैं दे ऑल विल कम इन योर थर्ड इंटरनल असेसमेंट. Wish you good luck, all the best for the exams. Okay, till then, take care and have a nice day.